Jordan James. In truth, Leicester could and should have scored more, but it's another 3 points as they extend their gap in top spot. Full time at St Andrews. It's Birmingham 2, Leicester City 3.
Thank you, John. Yes, another victory for Enzo Maresca and his Foxes. He's a happy man. Tom Cannon, a happy man as well. But 3-2, just about holding on, Jerry, in the end. Similar, I guess, to last Wednesday against Millwall.
Yeah, I think Matt summed it up well there. It's a hard-fought win. These games are never easy. Leicester, by far the best team on the evening, deserved the 3 points. Probably should have had 5. Scored 3. He could very, very easily have 5 goals tonight, at least. So fairly deserved the win. Yes, it was a bit of a nervous end to the, well, a nervous last 15 minutes or so to the game. But I think they've seen it out pretty well in the end there. You know, even though that, you know, they were under a bit of pressure. Could have went further ahead with Cassidy at the end there. But yeah, listen, it's a great performance. Hard fought win, difficult place to get a win. But I think overall, if you look at the standard and the level of the play generally, I think it was very, very good indeed.
When you think, when we scored that goal, on 15 minutes, 5 minutes into the second half, I turned to Tags and I went, this could get messy now. And I think there was a couple of occasions where we got in the final third and the last pass after we'd gone 3-1 up let us down. And I don't know if we took our foot off the pedal slightly after the hour mark, which gave them sort of an invitation to sort of get back in. They seemed to get a bit of a second win, got that second goal, which made it a nervous ending once again. But when you think, Dan, 22 games played, not even halfway through the season, 55 points won, 18 wins out of 22, 4 wins on the spin. Yeah, 3 points in front of Ipswich in second. I'm not too concerned about that. But when you think 13 points between Leeds in third and Southampton in fourth,
not even halfway through the season.
It's magnificent.
Yeah. Matt, you're watching these celebrations at St Andrews currently going on at the moment. Another away end that have been treated to another great evening.
Yeah, they loved it all night. It's been entertaining from the off, hasn't it? Impressive for the large part by Leicester. The celebrations here are something to watch as well, really. You think it's only another league game, it's only another 3 points. Enzo Maresca doesn't see it like that. It's a huge achievement, any victory. And as we found out before, Harry Winks has said the players actually got told off for not celebrating enough or not being pleased enough with themselves in one victory. But the game finished right in front of the away fans, fittingly for them. Manager was over. The whole backroom staff, all the players, substitutes, security, medical staff, they're all getting big bear hugs off Enzo Maresca. He's as pleased as punch. And that filters through to the players themselves. The supporters react to it. There's a real positivity flowing through Leicester City right now.
Which is great to see, isn't it? The fact that they've won, what is it now? Like you said, 18.
We said before the game, they've only lost once in 10 at St Andrews, Birmingham. Even though, you know, Wayne Rooney, since he's been there, the form hasn't been brilliant. And you know, I said they've beaten Leeds, they've beaten West Brom, drew with Ipswich. So some big sides who were close to the top of the Championship had been there and dropped points. You know, on another night, Leicester could have had 5, 6, could have had 3 or 4 in the first half. In this league, you take any win as it comes. Yeah, it was a nervy ending, as we said. They brought the big lad Jukovic on and they pumped balls into the box, and anything can fall, as we saw on against Millwall the other night. But lads dug in, rolled their sleeves up, and you know, grinded out yet another result.
Yeah, fair play to Enzo again. Now, you know, they brought Jukovic on, obviously very, very strong in the air, big physical presence. Leicester bring Harry Suter on. He goes and starts winning a few headers. You know, takes a bit of pressure off the back line. So, you know, good management from Enzo. I think, you know, going back to what Ewan said a bit earlier, Leicester were cruising in that second half after they go 3-1 up, cruising. there was a period of time where we were talking at half time about popping passes off and getting players closer to the first man to receive that straight ball coming through the middle of the pitch. That's exactly what Leicester did. And 3 or 4 times they were in and beyond and behind Birmingham's backline. And for whatever reason, they couldn't capitalise on that. But they were cruising a 3-1. And whether or not psychologically they just took their foot off the gas a little bit, or, you know, there was a few things you see in there like, this ain't a criticism of Steffi Mavididi because he was man of the match tonight, but he tried to go for goal with a back heel from about 10 yards out, and little things like that just creep in with him. Did he running over the ball, thinking there's no defender behind him to leave it for Fatawu? And I think psychologically, if you just let it drop 5-10%, you're going to give the opposition a chance. They did, but again, fair play to them. Once they conceded that second goal, they upped their game again, and they went, okay, there wasn't that much. Well, sorry, there was a couple of chances, but they upped the game and made sure that they didn't make that same mistake twice and seen the game through, which is obviously great to see.
Yeah, I mean, Suter came in one headers, didn't he? Like he really wanted it.
He did, I'm sure, what his manager told him to do when he got him ready to go on. As Tag said, there was only one thing Birmingham were going to do in that last 5, 6, 7 minutes of the game. You know, 5 minutes of added time. They were just going to bombard that Hermanson box with, you know, long balls in, just hoping that something would break to a Birmingham player, as that second goal did to Jordan James, and he took his chance superbly. But yeah, he came in. He was a commanding figure in those last few minutes, winning everything that came in. Some, you know, very, very important headers.
And
which again, sorry, Jerry, go on.
I was just going to say, and even the keeper kicked it out of his hands, which I don't think I've ever seen before.
Yeah, I mean, Matt, obviously we saw at Sheffield Wednesday, didn't we, at Hillsborough, the last-minute goal that was conceded to concede that equaliser from a long ball into the box, and maybe that's one of the reasons Harry Suter came on, to stop anything like that happening.
Yeah, that would have been part of the plan, of course, and yeah, looking back or reminiscing about or fearful of the situation at West Brom, you know, conceding a late goal and the long throws were coming in from Roberts, weren't they? And obviously that ended up okay in the end as well. But yeah, you know, as the lads have mentioned there, 3-1, I mean, that's comfortable enough, but they had the capability to go and really be ruthless and finish the game off properly. And that's quite a good description from Ewan about the possibility of it getting messy from Birmingham's point of view. That looked on the cards. It looked on the cards, didn't it? They looked downbeat, Birmingham. They looked as if they hadn't had a half time initially in the second half, because nothing had changed at all. And there was, in fact, that, you know, their performance had dipped a touch. Leicester were finding it increasingly easy to cut through them. But then they did take the foot off the gas a touch, didn't they? I think that, you know, that was shown by the switch with Mavididi, who was, you know, the most potent threat out there. Maresca thought, right, okay, listen, we're comfortable enough, we can take him off for now, and it's a sort of change of emphasis. Even then, Leicester had 2 or 3, 4 situations where they should have capitalised better, but all's well that ends well. And, you know, I wasn't particularly scared or frightened, but there were a couple of situations, you know, you never know, do you? A ricochet or something out the blue, like the goal from James as well, you know, the deflection, anything can occur. And it would have been hugely frustrating if Leicester didn't walk away with the 3 points in the back pocket tonight, because they were a class above, quite frankly.
I think it got to a stage, Dan, where, and Marty sort of touched on it there, it got too easy for the lads, where they were getting sort of, they were opening Birmingham at will, at ease, and it's just that final decision, that final pass, because it was so easy. You know, they had good options, 3 or 4 bodies in the box, but maybe just picking the wrong option in that final third. And I wouldn't say complacency, that'd be the wrong word to use. Just think, as Tags sort of said, sort of took the foot off the gas after about the hour mark, which gave Birmingham that sort of invitation to sort of try and crawl their way back into the game, which they did with that second goal.
Yeah, and they would have liked a bit more of a cushion, or just to have maybe not conceded that third one. But again, they've showed that they can be resolute.
Yeah, I think, you know, obviously, it's not just the fans in the stadium. the players on the pitch. There's the manager, the subs, all the staff that surround the manager. You know, it makes it a little bit of a nervy 10, 15 minutes, you know, end of the game. But as I said, they raised their game after conceding that goal and looked pretty comfortable for the final run in. He made the right substitutions at the right time, brought a bit of steel on with bringing Hams in it to, you know, just toughen that midfield up a bit. Bringing Harry Suter on as well for his aerial ability up against Jukovic. So, you know, all the right decisions were made at the right time to make sure that Leicester didn't concede another late goal and walk away with a point, which would have been an absolute travesty if that would have happened. Because, I mean, for that first hour, Leicester were at times sensational. Some of the football, the one-touch football, running off the ball. I mean, it was just glorious to watch.
I mean, you know, we sound a little bit disappointed, a bit negative, but gone away from home, scored 3 goals. The first 2 goals were outstanding. I mean, what a great example of quick counter-attacking football the first 2 goals were. You know, that's what, 9 away wins in 11 games, 24 goals scored in those 11. You know, scored more goals away from home than we have at the King Power. You know, we've spoken about this championship. It's a long, hard season. We've spoken about this month, and was it 7 games or 8 games within the space of 31 days or something? This is Leicester's 4th game in 18 days. It's a lot of football. It's a lot to ask of players. Gone to Birmingham, won 3-2, having had a good weekend with, as we spoke about, Leeds dropping points, Ipswich dropping points. Leicester have gone and done what they need to do and won the game and got the 3 points that they wanted.
Yeah, and a nice little 5-day break as well until the next game, of course, which is a little bit of a rarity during the festive period. Yeah. Still to come on Match Day Live. We'll preview that game with Rotherham. Hopefully we'll get some reaction from pitchside at Birmingham, and we'll keep things positive rather than negative as well, Ewan.
Who wants to join me? Shopping at King Power. 3-day, 2-night stay booked. See ya.
To the rooftop bar.
To snap a photo for my IG.
To eat the famous patai.
The new collection is calling me.
Sure, there's a perfume I want. Let me ask my sis.
Yes, of course I'm going.
Leicester City, Fox never quit.
Let's go. It's possible because King Power is more than just duty-free. Shop latest trends in beauty and gadgets, your coolest staycation, the legendary Pad Thai, best street food in town, a place to support your team, a fancy dinner, enjoy shopping at downtown stores and online, or even the thrill of a new experience. Explore your everyday possibilities. The power of possibilities. King Power.
The new season's nearly here and the opinions are getting stronger.
We've got serious pulling power now.
What? To get the top 2 players now.
Aye?
It's like I've been saying, if he settles the squad, we'll be back on top.
Only this time we're going for the quadruple.
You are joking, aren't you?
The time for talk is nearly over.
With over £4 million in free bet giveaways and huge price boosts, kick off your season with Sky Bet. That's betting better.
Jameson Black Barrel unlocks a richer taste experience from barrels charred black by fire for notes of butterscotch, toasted oak, and, ooh, moments like this.
You're built different. Breathing new life into broken. Taking matters into your own hands. Assembling big dreams from the small things. Never stopping until you find the right part at the right price. That's the eBay way.
Hello, football fans. This is a smart meter display. It helps you tackle energy usage, manage your spending, and keep you on target. Now that's a hat trick. Search Get a Smart Meter today.
Jameson Black Barrel unlocks a richer taste experience from barrels charred black by fire for notes of butterscotch, toasted oak, and, ooh, moments like this.
The new season's nearly here and the opinions are getting stronger.
We've got serious pulling power now.
Oh, to get the top players now.
Aye?
It's like I've been saying, if he settles the squad, we'll be back on top.
Only this time we're going for the quadruple.
You are joking, aren't you?
The time for talk is nearly over.
With over £4 million in free bet giveaways and huge price boosts, kick off your season with Sky Bet. That's betting better.
Welcome back to Matchday Live here on Fox's Hub, following Leicester City's 3-2 victory on the road at Birmingham on this Monday evening. I'm Dan Bates. Ewan Roberts and Jerry Taggart are in the studio with me. Matt Elliott is still with us at St Andrews. Matt, hopefully still warm. You were warmed, obviously, by the 90 minutes in front of you. And Leicester, as we've just been saying before the break there, 3 clear of Ipswich, obviously at the top, and then 13 clear of third place.
Yeah, pretty encouraging position, isn't it? Yeah, the game flew by. Very entertaining, particularly first half. Less so the second, but still not a bad watch. And always nicer to, regardless of what the weather's like. There's a bit of drizzle actually now, and it's a little bit chillier, but that won't bother anyone here in this stadium who's of Leicester orientation, because they, for the reasons you've just said there, they go marching on, don't they? And I don't think anyone's going to stop them anytime soon. Big game coming up, Boxing Day. A couple more to deal with before that. Or is it just a one, isn't it? Rotherham at the weekend. Listen, they're not going to fancy the prospect of coming to the King Power, are they? But Leicester just got to keep their focus, continue looking as impressive as they have done. And this game has been visual tonight. On different outlets. On television, and a wide audience will be seeing this one way or another. And again, Leicester have sent another message to anyone on looking, haven't they? And that they look pretty impressive at the moment.
But when you look at the next game, Rotherham,
bottom of the league,
worst defensive record, second lowest scorers in the division. They've won 2 points from their 11 away games. I mean, if that's not a home banker, I don't know what is.
Yeah, but they won't want to get ahead of themselves, obviously.
Well, no, listen, that's part of the job of being a manager, and obviously having coaches in and around you. You're going to try your level best to keep the players' feet on the ground. When you're looking at the table and you're seeing 13 points, half the season almost gone, you're playing Rotherham, who are rock bottom of the league. I can't remember the last time they won a game of football. I think it's 18 games ago or something like that there. They've just got a new manager in, but you've got to fancy your chances.
Yeah, I mean, they really will, but as we've already been alluding to, obviously they won't want to... Last time they played a team that was bottom of the league was Sheffield Wednesday, and they got a point.
Well, this is it. And I think, again, good managers make sure you don't make the same mistakes twice, and hopefully... that'll be the case on Saturday.
What a lovely segue from the ever professional Jerry Taggart into the manager Enzo Maresca, who is with John Dunn.
Especially the first 15-20 minutes, we struggled a little bit. Then it was much better. Overall, I think we deserve to win completely, 100%. We create chances, we miss. And in football, when you don't take the chance, it's always difficult. And at the end, we had some complicated minutes.
Is that the only disappointment, that the win wasn't bigger than the performance probably merits?
No, but you cannot be disappointing, mate, because it's football, and you know that the opponent also are there to win the game, so it's normal. We could score more goals, yes, for sure, But at the end, I don't think they want to miss. They want to score, but sometimes it happens. And after we concede the second goal, I really like the way the team behave all together, try to defend, try to get the 3 points. That in this moment, it's very important.
You had to deal with some early pressure, but the 2 Leicester goals from breakaways, that hasn't been the style this season.
No, yeah, I just said. I think also we score against Southampton away in the same way with the Steffi. We score the other day at home with a Pat, long ball from Mats. We don't like to use counter-attacker, but sometimes you need to use it.
But when you do use it, it's so effective. The balls were precise. The 2 finishes in particular, something very special.
Yes, but we also score the 90% of the goal playing in different ways. So we use when we need to use it.
A word on Steffi Mavididi, 2 goals, but also a very impressive performance tonight.
Yes, it's the way he has to continue until the end.
It's a win that gives us a gap from second, but more importantly, a bigger gap to third. That must be pleasing tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, because now we are almost finishing the first half of the season. We have 1 more game now, and it's important to win games.
Very quickly, the next game comes. Is it a case of refreshing and going again now on Saturday at King Power Stadium?
Absolutely, because we need to win again, and we're going to try to refresh, if we can, the team and go again for the 3 points.
We stood near to where the supporters were gathered tonight. You praised them all season, but again tonight, the backing was tremendous.
Yeah, absolutely. As we said, we as a club, as a team, we are happy, they are happy, and especially after relegation, I think they completely deserve. They have to understand that it's not easy, because when you relegate the year after, it's not easy, because it's like a new journey, a new project, but we are in the right way.
Thank you.
That was Enzo Maresca there speaking to our commentator, John Dunn, another happy man, but clearly not too happy with obviously Birmingham getting back into the game later on.
Yeah, and rightly slow. You know, it's right. Yeah,
rightly slow.
Rightly so. Yeah, 2 sloppy goals against Millwall. 2 sloppy goals again tonight. You know, we want to be cutting those mistakes out. You know, been solid defensively all season. I mean, but inside, he must be absolutely thrilled to bits. You know, not even halfway through the season, if we beat Rotherham Saturday, 58 points from 23 games, that is an incredible tally. You know, this team keeps breaking records, points-wise, keep churning out results. I know there's a long way to go, we know that, but it's been an incredible first half to the season.
Yeah, I think, you know, I like the way he words it, complicated moments towards the end. And, you know, it will not be lost on Enzo in the manner in which some of the goals are being conceded. But, you know, he's absolutely spot on. You go away from home, score 3 goals, 2 of them unbelievable goals, fantastic finishes, whatever. And, you know, he's got to be cock-out scoring another 3 goals away from home. Not to say that the goals conceded will not be lost on him, but they'll be put to the back burner for now, because there's no way you want to upset the feel-good factor that's inside that dressing room, that's in the stands, that's in the office, the manager's office. You know, you've got to just keep rolling with it. And hopefully this run will just continue and continue.
I think the players should sort of discuss that amongst them. That, hey lads, you know, we've set unbelievable standards. The barrier's so high, but defensively over the last couple of games we have let those standards slip, which have coincidentally
thankfully not cost us.
Yes, yeah, but we've given opportunities to the oppositions. We've got to sort these out ourselves. You can't always depend on your manager or the coach. Sometimes you've got to sit in the dressing room collectively and sort of thrash those things out yourself.
Yeah, Matt, you went for Steffi Mavididi as your man of the match this evening. Leicester's Twitter account put a poll out saying who's your man of the match. He got 66% of the vote. So the Leicester public and supporters agree with you, probably for once.
Yeah, I was going to say it doesn't necessarily mean I'm right, because I've seen some of those polls and they've come up with all sorts. But yeah, I think I just about got it right. I was umming and ahhing. I don't know how it came across back there on the studio or for observers watching on TV, but live, Dewsbury, he was magnificent tonight as well. 2 seconds, I'm just saying goodbye to Don Goodman. See you, mate. Name dropping.
Shocking, that.
Sorry. Yes, but those two, Mavididi. I mean, Fatawu in flashes as well. Not as impressive as his counterpart on the left wing. But Daka just needs to tidy it up a little bit. But there were threats from everywhere. I mentioned it midway through the first half, or latter stage of the first half. You know, Ndidi with his lung busting runs. Winks was just keeping everything ticking over. But Mavididi, he looked like in, I don't know if it's the right term, in real life, it sounds a bit strange, but here live, he just looked so powerful. He looked on another level. And he was up against Awu, the right fullback, big, strong, powerful lad, pretty athletic. He just could not handle Mavididi. And you saw in the second half with the goal, it was too easy. He got a little nick on it, didn't he, an element of fortune. But he was 3-4 yards away from Mavididi because he was panicking. He didn't want to get too tight. And he put the frighteners up his opponent. But yeah, it was impressive. It was impressive all round from Leicester, but those two individuals in particular looked on top of their game.
Yeah, I mean, very, very much so. I think to score 3 goals in a game and be as dominant as you are, albeit only winning by a goal in the end, Jerry, a lot of your players need to be on it. And they, again,
again, you know, we were going back. I was, at the beginning of the show, was going back to the game at Sheffield Wednesday, and this was head and shoulders a different game, a better game. Mavididi, 2 goals, deserved it. Dewsbury Hall deserved it as well. He was phenomenal. But I think when you score 2 goals and you're causing all kinds of problems all night, then you're probably just going to edge it. You know, the last 2 games I've given it to Fatawu. Tonight,
I mean, he got 2 assists, by the way.
I mean, it's just incredible how these 2 wide players have come in, hit the ground running, and just seem to be getting better and better, and are adding goals, assists, week in, week out. And then at the centre of it all is Kieran Dewsbury Hall, who's the driving force behind everything else. So, I mean, it does look really good.
When you think, right, Kieran scored, he sort of assisted for the third. It was his pass that ended up at Mavididi's feet in the Birmingham penalty box. I still think the shot's going in, but when you think Leicester have gone away from home again, and if you look at the stats, we've just seen them there, dominated possession, 60% possession, and 14 attempts. Yeah, the same attempts as Birmingham on goal, but they keep doing that wherever they go, dominating games. Just that bit of clinical finishing, and that's a daft thing to say when you've scored 3 away from home, but see, could have had 6.
Yeah, well, they really could have done.
Easily. I mean, some of the opportunities were, and the way they were created, and
it was easy to.
That's what I mean. I'm trying. But I know you said we're not being negative, but if Leicester had walked off the pitch winning 6-2, with the amount of times and the amount of opportunities that they got in behind and got into good positions and didn't finish them off, 6 goals, you'd have said, 6-2, you'd have went,
true reflection.
Yeah, that would have been a true reflection. Instead of being under pressure for the last 10, 15 minutes and, you know, changing the dynamic of the side because they take a big man on and you have to throw a centre-half on to counteract that. You see that, you're in second gear. You're seeing that game out in second gear instead of, right, all hands to the pump and we need to just, you know, dig deep and get through it.
Can you imagine how flat we'd feel in here now had they sort of got the scrappiest of goals in the last couple of minutes?
Yeah, similar to the Sheffield Wednesday game.
Yeah.
Matt, we'll let you have the final say before you head off for that short journey back across to the East Midlands. Another pleasing 3 point. Heading into that game with bottom of the table Rotherham at the weekend, if they can win that, as we said, midway through the season, to be on as many wins as they would be then, would be incredible.
Yeah, that's the hope, and that's the expectancy as well, isn't it? As you say, decent-ish at this time of year break, stroke rest, going into the game, then a flurry of activity, so there will be changes, even though Maresca seems to sort of have a first 13, if you like, doesn't he? You know, just makes odd alterations with the front man and one of the defensive lineup. But in games that he's really looking to sort of make an impression, he keeps it pretty similar. Rightly so, I think, at this stage. But has also given enough rest time to certain players to cope with matters coming up. But listen, the boys just mentioned it against Rotherham. You know, you don't want to take anything for granted, but you got to fancy your chances, haven't you? Put it that way. First against Bottom, massive gulf between the teams. Although they ran Leicester reasonably close in the opposite fixture at the New York Stadium, isn't it, Batesy? I think.
Yeah.
But another little side point as well is Ipswich Leeds, or Leeds Ipswich at the weekend as well, isn't it? So there's points being dropped there. Whichever way you want to look at it, that's going to be a positive thing. Me personally, I prefer Leeds to drop the points, but listen, I suppose there's a case of being ultra positive and saying, look, we don't want to just get promoted, we want to win it. We want to win it in a convincing style, and I think that will come in due course. But regardless of that, it's about what Leicester do, and you've got to fancy them to continue this run at the weekend, haven't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much to Matt Elliott, to Jerry Taggart and to Ewan Roberts for their company this evening. We've got plenty more coming your way on Fox's Hub, of course, over this festive period. There is that game, of course, on Saturday with Rotherham that we've just been referencing there. It is a 3 o'clock kickoff. That means we'll be live from 2 p.m. On Saturday afternoon, just a couple of days before Christmas. Elsewhere as well, if you can't wait until Saturday, you can listen to the latest episode of Leicester's The Place, a podcast with Harry Winks, Jerry Taggart and Matt Elliott in conversation. You can get that wherever you listen to your podcasts. You can also watch it on YouTube or on Fox's Hub. But that's it for us here on Matchday Live on Fox's Hub. We are going to leave you, though, in the capable hands of Abdul Fatawu. You may have seen that he had his phone out at full time, or one of the media team's phone out at full time. Here's it's about 90 seconds worth. Here it is in all its glory. Good night.
Yes! Come on! What is that? Yes!